Using the equation solver on the TI84 or TI83, the older type of graphics calculator. If you've got a newer, shinier one, the TI84Plus CE, look at the other video. The equation solver on this older one is trickier than the newer, shinier one, but it's still quite handy. To access the equation solver, Math, use the up key just once to get to solver and enter. Now, this will let us solve equations or use formulas, but we do have to rearrange the equation so it's 0 equals the whole equation. We enter the equation in using the alpha key for unknowns, and we do alpha solve to get the answer. But it does need us to rearrange. I want 0 on this side. I've got to get rid of this 2x. 0 equals, keep this, take away this side. It's safest if you take it away in brackets. Rearrange the equation to have 0 here. We're just taking away whatever's over here from that side. Enter the equation in. Now to get letters we can use alpha, and we see there's little tiny green letters above most of the keys, or there's a shortcut for x just here. So I need x plus 5 minus 2x. Let's use the shortcut for x plus 5 minus, in brackets, 2x. Close the brackets. Enter the equation, press enter. Do not give the answer that's sitting here for x. It is not correct. Highlight where it says x equals and do alpha and enter, because it says solve. X equals 5. If you use this equation solver to get an answer in a test, write down your rearranged equation and write equation solver. And a quick check. 2x equals x plus 5. We want x on its own. Take away x from both sides. X equals 5. It worked it out. It's nice. Here we've got a more tricky one. So if you need to enter a new equation, up button to go back into your equation, and clear. We'll have to rearrange this equation. 0 equals, and I'm taking away all of this in brackets from that. So I've got 2 minus 3 outside of f plus 3 minus 2f plus 3. We can use f, or we could have just used x again, but let's use f, let's be fancy. 2 take away 3 bracket, f, they are in alphabetical order, so alpha, f plus 3, close bracket, take away, open another bracket, 2 f plus 3. Close the bracket, enter. Highlight f and alpha solve. F equals -2. And I say that I used the equation solver. Now usually it's just easier to solve the equations. Where this really comes in handy is solving problems with formulas. So for example, find the length of time it would take for a $5,000 invested at 12% per annum simple interest to earn $404 in interest. So that's the simple interest formula, I equals PRN over 100. It's always best to use the formula that's over 100 for this. And anytime we use this formula, I ask you to write I, P, R, and N, and tell me what they are to start with. And you absolutely have to do this if you're using the solver. So, find the length of time. I'm finding N. Investing 5,000, that's my principal. Rate is 12% per annum, and because the divide by 100 is over here, this stays as a percentage, not a decimal. And the interest is 404. Now we need to get this into our equation solver. And the easiest way to do it is put brackets around the whole right-hand side, because there's only one thing here. And I'm going to take this away from that side. I minus PRN on 100 equals 0. So you'll see it's easier to get the 0 over here on the right for this one, because it's just this side, take away that side equals 0. But we should probably put this one, it's going to have to become 0 equals this. So up to get into your equation and clear. Definitely use the right letters. I minus brackets P R N is N on, so divide by 100. Close your bracket. Enter. And it presents you with exactly what we've got here. So we can enter the numbers that we know, move to the number we don't know, and alpha solve. 0.673 recurring. Now, you must write this and the fact that you solved, and this is not a good answer. Because this was 12% per annum, this answer has come out in years. You wouldn't give an answer. If someone says, how long will it take you to earn $404 in interest, you wouldn't say 0.673 years. You would change it to months or days. So if we wanted to change it to months, we'd multiply by 12. If we wanted to change it to days, we'd multiply by 365. Quit out. Keep a few decimal places. Definitely don't just do 1 or 2. Times, let's go for days, 365. 245.7, round up because you need that 0.7 of a day, so 246 days. Word answer. Remember, you get your word answer by reading the question. How long it takes to earn $404 interest. It would take this long to earn $404 in interest. So this does require rearranging the formula. And it is a good idea to write your rearranged formula, 0 equals I minus PRN divided by 100. Sorry about squeezing it in there. Because if you've written that down, you've got it and can use it. And if you're feeling really clever in a test, you can go through and do all the simple interest questions at once while that formula is in your calculator. So this one, find the amount of money owed after 2 years if $10,000 is borrowed at 10% per annum compounded monthly. This is compound interest. We need the compound interest formula. We will need to know A, P, R, and N. We will need to rearrange the compound interest formula by taking all of this away from A. So all of that gets subtracted from A. You do not need the brackets out here for this one because everything's times or there's brackets, but it won't hurt if you put them in. A minus P times, you need these brackets, 1 plus R divided by 100 to the power of N equals 0. Or of course the equals 0 is going to end up over here. 0 equals A minus P times 1 plus R divided by 100 to the power N. If you wanted to put brackets around that, as I taught you for the others, it wouldn't hurt, but you don't need it. And if you've got that written down somewhere when you go into a test, life will be a lot easier. Put in our numbers, 10,000 for a principal, 10% per annum, but I'm compounding monthly, so I need to divide that by 12 to get a monthly rate. 2 years, but I'm compounding monthly, so I need to times by 12 to get the number of years. You don't need to work these out. You can type them straight into the solver, and the amount of money is what I'm finding. So go back to your equation solver. Up to clear your equation. Up, clear. Enter, 0 equals, get your letters right, A minus P times bracket 1 plus R divided by 100, close your bracket, to the power, must use the power key, N, enter. It'll often pre-fill with other things you've used. Enter in the numbers that you've got here. You can just type in 10 divided by 12 and it will get your answer that you needed. 2 times 12 gets the answer. Often you can't move on from where your unknown is if there's nothing there, so you can always put a 0 there and come back. Highlight the thing you want to know, alpha, solve. There's our amount. Word answer with $sign to 2 decimal places because this is money.